Sadly, more and more student visas are being denied each year here in America. It's not getting better after the pandemic. And the question is why? One of the big reasons is the backlogs that we're facing. So, Mandy, can you tell us how the visa backlogs are impacting more and more denials happening for our friends who are applying for student visas?
Yeah, absolutely, Rob. So with backlogs in busy countries like India and China being at an all-time high, what we're hearing on the ground is that students have as little as 30 seconds at their F1 visa interview to, introduce themselves, to speak to the officer. And so this is really very, very little time. And so students definitely need to be prepared to take advantage of those 30 seconds. What I always tell students is every second counts, every single word that you say counts. So make sure you're ready, because before you know it, it could be over and you might be like, what just happened there?
Yeah, 30 seconds is so little time. It used to be maybe 2 minutes, but in 30 seconds, you might be just getting one, two questions, and you have to have almost the perfect right answers, not memorized, but correct answers, because they're still trying to catch up on all those backlogs. The visa officers are just rapid fire, and you might not even be ready. So, yeah, I can see that how that impacts denials because students aren't ready for that. So, along with the backlogs, there's lots of other things that are causing denials. Stay tuned to find out more, friends. Hey friends, welcome to Chine Coaching. I'm Rob, and at Chine Coaching, we're all about helping you thrive and succeed on your cross-cultural journeys, especially with visas and immigration. And today we're doing a little deep dive on student visas and why more and more are being denied in their interviews. It's tough, it's challenging. We want to help you find success. We've got the perfect guest today, Mandy. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, Rob. It's so nice to be back on your channel. As some of you may know, I am a former U.S. visa officer and also a licensed immigration attorney. And I work with a lot of international citizens on succeeding on their visa journey.
Definitely. Mandy's got so much experience guiding people, not just in visa interviews, but also with immigration and other just challenges people face trying to study and work abroad. We want to help you guys crack and ace that student visa interview. And so, Mandy, thanks for coming back to share your advice, especially what you're seeing happening right now in real time with students. And so the next kind of thing that's causing denials is new visa officers. What does that mean, and how is that having an impact?
Yeah. So, Rob, after the pandemic, because a lot of diplomats left the department, left to, move on with their careers, the department had a shortage of visa officers, and they hired so many new officers. And one of the things that I understand very well, having done this job, is that when you're a new officer, sometimes you're a little bit more unsure of yourself. You're always worried that you're going to approve someone for a visa when you really shouldn't. And it really kind of creates this perfect storm. There's backlogs for visas, but there's also a lot of brand new officers, especially in busy places like India and China. And what they're doing is they're doing these 30-second interviews, and their managers are telling them, when in doubt, just deny. And that's sort of the mentality that they're bringing into this visa interview. So I think the odds for students are worse than ever, because not only do they have a shorter amount of time to talk at their visa interview, but they have these new officers who are coming in and saying, oh, okay, if I don't get enough information out of the student, I can just go ahead and deny. That's what my boss is telling me to do. This is why I'm seeing so many international students coming to me and saying, well, I was only asked one question and then they kind of turned me away, or, gave me the sheet right away. I didn't even get a chance to talk. And so unfortunately, this is definitely more and more prevalent. And the State Department released numbers recently, just in the last few weeks, that in 2023, visa denials for students were at an all-time high. 36%. So over 536,000 students were denied their visas. And
Crazy.
So I know it's a crazy number, isn't it? And so to me, it's really sad, because it's almost like the American dream never even got a chance to start, right? Like before you even had this chance to even go study, it's over. And so we can talk about, what you can do to sort of help your chances. And especially for students who are applying for the first time this year, how important it is to prepare the right way from the beginning.
It's good to know that there has been that turnover with visa officers and what they're kind of coached to do. And again, you only have 1, 2 questions, 30 seconds. You have to make it count. And that's scary, but there's opportunity there as well. So that's really important to understand. So a third reason we've learned about that's causing big denials is the misinformation and bad guidance that people and students are getting online. Mandy, tell us more about that.
Yeah. So, there's all sorts of information online about the US visa process, but most of the time you don't really know the source of that. You don't know who's giving out this information. And I always tell people, sometimes people can be well meaning and they want to help, but they just don't really know what they're talking about and they have an opinion. These days, everybody has an opinion on everything through the internet. So it's just really important that you're getting the right information. And so I think that one of the biggest misinformation out there is that students don't actually have to prepare for the visa interview. And I hear this from students themselves that they're like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go in and answer the questions. And I've had friends that have been approved with no problems, but the numbers say otherwise. The numbers tell us that more and more students are being denied, so that this is a very, very important process, even if it is really short. And, we also get a lot of students who get guidance from visa agents overseas. And these are the same agents that fill out the DS-160 form and they, write something wrong. And then all of a sudden you're in a lot of trouble at your visa interview. And so I think that if you're a student applying for a visa this year, I just challenge you to take more responsibility and ownership over your visa interview process and not try to say, oh, I have an agent who's helping me, or my parents are filling it out, or my friend is helping me, because ultimately you're the one that's going to be, on the hook for the answers that you provide, whether it's on your application or at the interview. So it's important to do it right.
Yeah. Coming up, we're going to share some more tips and resources to help you guys. But I love what Mandy said about taking your own responsibility. If you're coming to America, we're an independent culture and country. It means you have to do it yourself. So make sure that you're filling out your applications, your form, your documents yourself. Make sure you're doing the practice yourself. If you're just memorizing answers that people give you for the visa interview, it's not going to cut it anymore. The visa officers are going to quickly tell that these are canned, memorized, not true, not real answers, and it's going to be a quick denial. So make sure you've got the right answers, your story, your strategy, that you're ready to communicate clearly in a concise way that makes sense. And that way, that's going to way increase your chances for approval.
Absolutely, Rob. And one other thing I want to mention that goes along with what you're saying is I think so many students think that they can just rely on documents. And, if they have their nicely prepared package and they could just bring it in and they could just shove it across the window, that the documents are going to speak for them. But, as someone who has done this job, every officer that I've worked with has had this mentality of no documents. They just want to have this conversation with you to hear about what your plans are, why you chose the school, how you're going to pay for your tuition. And so again, don't go in there thinking that your documents are going to talk for you.
I think that's one of the big myth busters, is that documents are a lot less important and it's more important how you communicate and tell your story.
Yes.
So my friends, if you're learning a lot in this video, hit that like button to say thanks and cheers to Mandy for giving this difficult but helpful update about why denials are happening. And our chat question for you guys that are watching is, where are you going to be giving your visa interview? Let us know. Tell us the city, the consulate, the embassy. We want to know where you guys are tuning in from and which kind of locations you are going to be preparing for. Maybe we can help you out, because I know that there's kind of different things that happen around the world. Would love to see where you guys are going to be going and giving these visa interviews in our special Chine Coaching audience. Okay, so Mandy, we've talked about the visa backlogs, the new consular officers. We've got bad information going around. What are some maybe key takeaways that then people can use to prepare better, and that way maybe avoid a rejection?
Yeah, so I think the best thing that you can do is definitely prepare ahead of time. Whether it's for your first interview or you've already been denied, what should you do? You need to go to the source. And so what my partner and I have created is the most comprehensive and first available F1 visa interview online course, where we basically coach you through this interview and how you can succeed on your first attempt or maybe after a visa denial. And a few important things that we go through is exactly how you fill out your DS 160. I get a lot of questions about that all the time. And we actually go through the application live, step by step, and tell you about common mistakes that we used to always see as visa officers that would, make your case more of a red flag and how you can avoid those mistakes. But I also give a special formula on how you can start your interview on the right foot. It's a 3-step formula. I walk through it step by step. And the last thing I think is very helpful for students is I give you actual examples of what a good interview looks like versus what a bad interview looks like. So not only am I giving you these, coaching instructions on what you should say, but also thinking about, okay, putting this actually into practice. What does that actually look like? And so, I've been doing this for a really long time, helping international students succeed at the F1 visa interview. And most of the time when I talk to students, I only have, 30 minutes or an hour. And what I've realized over time is that this is just not enough time to give students the foundation that they really need. And through this online course, which is literally video lessons step by step, you can work at your own pace. It's almost 5 hours of video material so that you can, review the challenging lessons, see if you're doing well. And then the best part is you also get exclusive access to me or my partner as former visa officers. We do these exclusive question and answer sessions just for our course students every couple of weeks. So if you take the course and you still have additional questions, pop into our Q&A session so you can do some mock interviews with us live or ask any remaining questions that you have. And I just think that this is going to be a really powerful resource and tool for you all as we're headed into this student visa season to make sure that you can actually, start your dreams, start your American dream and do it the right way. Because, once you get that visa denial, the more denials you get, the harder it is to actually get your visa approved. And so, if you just spend a couple $100s from the beginning, so you're doing it right, you can avoid all sorts of problems down the road.
Yes, the small investment of time and resources to get the approval the first time is worth it. Then as we're seeing more and more denials are happening, every denial you get makes it even harder to approve the next time. And for you guys who are tuning in now, we've got some special gifts for you guys. One is Mandy and I are making a special download, a free download that's a PDF that's going to walk you through A to Z, the F1 student visa process. What to do. It's like almost like a checklist for you guys to follow that and guide you in the right direction. And we're also covering the most common visa interview questions for F1 student visas, again, to help you prepare. And we're just scratching the surface. But then again, for this course, we're also giving you a special discount. So if you sign up through our Chine coaching link, you get a special discount as well on this course because we really believe that's going to help you succeed. And we want to make this available to you guys. So check these out. We're going to have the links for the download for the course. Mandy and ZF, they're experts to prepare, to guide. They've seen awesome success, and we want to help you guys see that success too. So Mandy, what do you think has been the most helpful thing in your course that students have experienced so far who've already gone through it?
I think the thing that they love the most is just how we break it down step by step and what you should say from your first question. And I've also heard really positive feedback for how to talk about your finances and how to, pay for your tuition, whether you're getting a scholarship or maybe you're on a loan. There's a lot of nuance when it comes to the visa interview and how you explain that. And students have given us just great positive feedback about that.
Oh, that's so encouraging to hear. Just as we talked about denials and reasons for that in this video, Mandy and I are also making another video covering what are the big changes that have been happening over the last year. A lot of changes have happened to F1 student visas. And the question is, are you aware? Are you ready? So we're going to break down those big changes. So also check out that video. We'll have the links for that as well. Mandy, thanks so much again. This was enlightening to me, and I know it's going to help other people.
I'm so excited to be here, Rob, and it's always great to collaborate with you to bring just the best resources to your students as they start this journey.
I love it. Yeah. So again, friends, connect with us online on social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, our newsletters as well. Mandy and at ZF Immigration has great resources that we want to share. So all those are going to be in the links. We love having you guys be part of this Chime coaching community. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see everyone next time. Cheers.